What's up, guys, and welcome back to Poor Man Printing. Today I want to go over just a few key points on land game dropping tomorrow. That's right, it's dropping tomorrow. Thank you, ILLuvium. It's only been a year. But anyway, so let's get into it. I'm gonna make this real quick because I got like all kind of honeydew crap I gotta do for my wife, and I'm making beef jerky, and I gotta put some kind of table together. Y'all don't want to hear about that bull crap. So let's go straight into it. So right here, this is an older video, but I want y'all to hear exactly what is a blueprint and what does it mean, because Kieran kind of talks about it and he puts a good perspective on why it's so important to scan for these blueprints. So let's just jump right on into it.
I wanted to quickly touch on the scanning for blueprints part, because that's something that you can scan for blueprints on tier 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 land. Can you give people an overview of what these blueprints actually are and what their value is? Obviously, you have a singularity scanner on your land. You're playing this in ILLuvium 0. The scanner picks up biodata from alluvials that are actually passing through your land. Once you, let's say you do get one of these rare blueprint NFTs, why is that valuable and why is that interesting?
So blueprints are important because they're super rare. Now, what you can do with that blueprint,
and we do know
you can mint.
Yeah, just like the video I shot last night talking about how rare the blueprints are, 5%. That's very, very low. So keep that in mind as you listen to this.
So for example, if the alluvial that you pick up is a ramfire, right? It's gone past your land, the scanner's picked it up. You then research the biodata, you create that blueprint. That's going to be a ramfire based armor blueprint, right? So you will be the only person in the world that can create that piece of armor. Now, the cool thing about that is you get to set the price. It's whatever you want, right? You don't have to sell it to someone. You might be the only person who wants that, right? And so you go, I'm not going to give this to anyone else, so I can have that exclusivity. It's a cosmetic skin that you're bringing into the game. So it doesn't have any effect in terms of balancing, but it's a flex. It's like your Fortnite skins.
Yeah, exactly like World of Warcraft. Skins are big time, man. I transmog in World of Warcraft. I used to transmog all my gear just to look cool and be unique. So I understand what he's talking about, but I also understand how much it could actually go for.
Except instead of the publisher, as in Fortnite, creating that skin and determining how many they create and all of that, it's literally down to the person who owns that blueprint, the owner of that land NFT, right? They decide what's the pricing. They decide how much supply am I going to create, if I'm going to create any at all. And then you also have the ability to say, okay, I've had this blueprint. I've been creating this specific armor for a while now. I've sold a few, and now actually I think it's time for me to let it go. And there'll be someone else out there, maybe someone who creates like blueprint factories, right? Who's literally out there to try and get as many blueprints as possible, because that's their business model, and they would be happy to purchase your blueprint. So you might then offload your blueprint and you'd be able to fetch a very, very high price for it, because now you're not just selling the piece of armor that you minted from having the blueprint, you're literally giving them the thing that can create an unlimited amount of this piece of armor.
That right there is several ways to make money in this game, because that is really, really big. You could actually sell your blueprint to someone who wants to make the armor and sell the armor. I don't know how it really will work in the overworld, and when ILLuvium 0 is actually playable and we got cash running through the game and everything else, crypto, but it's gonna be very, very interesting on how it works out, guys. I mean, I might just come into overworld just to mine. I don't know. I really don't know. Nobody knows anything yet.
So that's what we're talking about. This is the NFT that helps you make more NFTs. So it gives you a blueprint so you can control the market, if you will, for skins. That's wild. it's almost like you're saying you're the developer and publisher almost in this case, where like you decide whether the market gets any of these skins. You could say 0 or ever made.
You could say 0, yeah, you could.
Or you could just mint them and then sell them yourself. So it's like you're almost like able to set up shop here, like an ILLuvium skins shop. That's so cool. I just wanted to emphasize that point. So it's not just.
That's what I'm saying, guys. Y'all don't know how cool this game is going to be. All right, so let's move on to the next video, which dropped today. Gameplay of ILLuvium 0, which is coming out tomorrow if you own a piece of land. Okay, guys, so this first key part of that video is about the fuel. So let's take a listen.
Let's talk a little bit more about the elements. So everybody understands, okay, fuel, the resources we're talking about up here, Krypton, Hyperion, and Solon are used and are interoperable with our other games. Help us understand, Johnny, a little bit more about elements specifically. Like, I'm not taking my carbon, and I'm not taking my silicon, and I'm not taking my hydrogen into the overworld, right?
No, so at the moment, elements exist solely inside of ILLuvium 0. They're basically the fundamental building blocks, the resources required to build all of these different structures. Occasionally, high-level structures will also take a little bit of fuel to build, but they'll take very large amounts of elements to build as well. Look, beyond the alpha, we may take these elements to the blockchain as well.
Did you hear that? I didn't see that coming. Elements to the blockchain, more flow, more crypto, bunch of fuel, bunch of elements.
There's no real reason that we couldn't do that and have them tradable and so on. But certainly at the moment and for the foreseeable future, those elements wouldn't be used in other games, and they're all about building up your structures inside ILLuvium 0.
Totally understand that. Got it.
Right here, there is your fuel for travel, right? We all know this. If you play the overworld, you know this. You got to have X amount of fuel to travel to each tier of land. And then this one here, I forgot the name of it, to tell you the truth, but it's used to cure your shards. Can you imagine how much people are going to be needing that to cure shards, to catch alluvials when they don't want to go out there and mine? They just want to go and try to catch alluvials, so they just buy it off the alluvidex. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And right here, I believe this is used for armor upgrades. It's used for weapons, all kinds of stuff that goes on your character in the game. That's going to be used a lot too. So land, I see land being pretty damn big. Okay, so this next video is going to be about the mega city. I don't have a mega city, but maybe you do, or maybe somebody you know has the mega city, or maybe you want to get the mega city after hearing this. So let's jump into it.
Johnny, about the mega cities, and as you start mentioning sending some of the fuel between the plots, can we talk about the mega cities?
We could talk about both of those things. So firstly, mega cities are a feature that's not in the alpha, but anyone who's been following along in the Discord channels will know that that's a feature that is planned. The basic idea with a mega city is if you have adjacent land that makes certain shapes, like a 2x2 square or a 3x3 square, you can combine them all together into one mega plot or mega city, which has much more space. The benefits of doing that are, well, there's a couple of them. The first is any landmark boosts will apply not just to the one plot, but to any plot within the mega city. So you could potentially have multiple landmarks impacting all of your plots. The second benefit is that by having more space and being able to share structures, less percentage of your space is taken up with these support structures. So instead of building 4 nexuses for 4 plots, you can have 1 nexus across 4 plots, which actually fills up quite a bit of space that you can use for more productive buildings.
Interesting. So you can optimize if you have multiple pieces of a land that are adjacent to each other, connected from megacity, then you can optimize each land for one piece of a larger strategy. rather than focusing on just making one.
They will actually play as just one land effectively. So in this client, you would just see a much bigger area.
I see.
The side effect of that is that there's no cost to share resources between your plots because they are just one plot. There is no transfer. But it is worth pointing out, I think I saw some questions about it, that in the post-alpha or potentially later in the alpha, you will be able to send resources between your plots, even if they're not connected in a mega city. But the important thing here is there will be a time and resource cost to doing so.
So there you go. So if you have a mega city, one, you can use the same resources together, combine them. Two, if you're sending resources, if you don't have a mega city, it's going to cost you time, and it's going to cost you, I don't know, maybe some fuel or something. But with a mega city, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to pay those fees. It might take a little longer. He does talk about that, but you save money and you save time. If you're thinking about it, if you're building 4 at one time, you know, you can only build 1 on one plot, but if you could build 4 or 3 or 2 at one time, that's definitely a big plus right there. That's pretty cool, guys. So hey guys, I hope you guys are ready for the drop of ILLuvium 0 tomorrow. I know I am. After I get off work, working 10 hours. Yeah, that sucks, but whatever. I'll be there. So yeah, I just wanted to bring you this quick video, and I will catch you guys on the next one.